You are welcome once again to the Guru on Air, the YouTube channel of Godwin Attackable, known on air as the Guru. Today we are going to discuss a topic that I have captured: importation of adulterated fuel. Who do we hold accountable? Importation of adulterated fuel. Who do we hold accountable? We are told by events of things that between February 2nd and 4th, some vessels brought into Nigeria fuel, PMS, for our usage. But a week after the 4th or so, it was discovered that the fuel brought in was nothing but fully adulterated fuel. And before Nigerians would know that what was brought for them was adulterated, the fuel had gone into the market and people started buying already. Probably it was some damages that were done, or probably sensitivities of some professionals in Nigeria rose to the curiosity of the people to say, wait a moment, this fuel is adulterated, before the government, through its organization, NNPC, knew of it. Stop, as we were told, of course, the sales of the adulterated one and embark on a recall. But this matter is not as simple as we just pronounce it like this. The quantity imported, we were told, is about 100 million liters. And of course, it can be circulated not only in Lagos, into Abuja, Ibadan, and many other major cities across the country, before it was detected that this is nothing but a killer fuel, so to say. We need to look at it, and we need to ask ourselves questions. Who do we hold accountable for this blunder? Since the year 2016, importation of fuel into Nigeria had been taken off the hands of private importers because of the subsidy, because of the racketing that is there. You will recall that the 2016 budget came without subsidy. Yet, NNPC was to tell us later that it paid subsidy. That's not what we are questioning today. What we are back doing today is to get to the root of who we should hold accountable. Before we get to that, let us investigate or interrogate the matter more along some useful lines of logic, of professionalism, and of wisdom. NNPC is solely responsible for importation of fuel into Nigeria. That is why it is solely responsible for deduction of the subsidies. That is why it said it had no money to pay, nothing left after deduction of subsidy to pay to the federal FAC, the account where money is shared between three tiers of government monthly. That is the federal government, the state government, and the local government. If we understand that NNPC is responsible for importation of fuel, it makes the matter, it simplifies the matters a little. But we still need to interrogate it further. I want to bring a few examples into it. 100 million liters of fuel. That is something. That is something. That is something. Imported without meeting the specification of fuel that is used in Nigeria. First of all, we're told, oh, the sulfur is too high. We know that Nigeria crude, one of the best in the whole world, which is comparable to Brent, has no sulfur. Oh, then ethanol. Oh, or then this and that. What do we have? We have the fuel that is not destroying cars, not only cars. Those using fuel to run their generator, they are in trouble. But thank God, the fuel we're talking about is just not a fuel for cars and co. If it were to be one consumable, many Nigerians would have died by now. If it were to be one consumable. Immediately it happened. The first person that gave the narration of what happened was NNPC. And NNPC mentioned a few companies that imported the fuel in. That brought Nigeria into a thinking platform. Saying, wait a moment. But we thought NNPC is fully responsible for importing our fuel. Which is this that NNPC is talking about? NNPC mentioned, let me quote NNPC Managing Director, Group Managing Director, Mile Yari. Mile Yari spokesman, that is Gabardine Mohammed, mentioned MRS, Oadu, Duke Oil, and a consortium of consisting Emade, Hyde, AY, McAfee, Britannia, EU were responsible for bringing in the fuel. This is what NNPC does. If NNPC said these are the organizations or these are the business entity that brought in, we should be able to honor the NNPC and say, that's good, we now know. But as NNPC measured them, MRS, yours sincerely have been able to talk to a few of these companies mentioned. MRS went to the press. MRS stated categorically in his press address that we are not part of it. We did not. And MRS said that, look deep, maybe you want to measure Duke Oil. Why MRS? That we never imported that. MRS even told us how they discovered it and how they stopped it and how they are selling good and qualitative petrol in their petrol stations across the country. Oado went to the press. Oado addressed the press. And Oado said, we are not. We never brought this fuel into Nigeria. And Oado made innuendos measuring those suspected that brought food. A twist is coming into the matter here now. MRS, Oado, Duke Oil, and a consortium of coexisting like Imade, Hyde, AY, McAfee, Britannia, EU, were responsible. I think at this point, when all those mentioned are coming out to say, don't tell lies against us, we never did. We should therefore return back to NNPC and ask, what is happening? That's number one. 2, we must listen to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on this matter. What is his take? We have reasons to interrogate the President Muhammadu Buhari. Because 1, he is the Minister for Petroleum Resources. 2, he is the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces. 3, as an Executive President, the buck stops on his table. So we shall be going back in the next episode to ask President Muhammadu Buhari that, please, sir, who is to carry out this investigation? Who are we to query? Because we need to serve query. Who are we to query? Is it you, sir? Or is it NNPC? Or is it the cosmetic window-dressed Minister of State in that Petroleum Resources Ministry? We shall return back with the second episode. The Guru signing off.